Mr. Kirk had been taking part in an outdoor debate at the university in Utah when he was killed by a single bullet. He was an outspoken supporter of President Trump, someone who was part of his inner circle, and was credited with helping the Republicans rally their youth vote. President Trump has described Mr. Kirk as a martyr for truth and freedom, and the president blamed what he described as the radical left for fostering a climate of political violence. He said the shooting was a dark moment for America. Well, footage from the shooting has been posted on social media showing the incident on campus. Well, we've paused the video at the moment that gunfire was heard before crowds scattered. Officials believe the shot may have been fired from a roof.
Very interesting, because in the immediate aftermath, we saw both Democrats, Republicans, all the former living presidents put out statements, really heartfelt statements to Charlie Kirk's family, his wife, his two young children, just 1 and 3 years old. And they really expressed the need for disagreements not to devolve into violence, saying that that was really anathema to the American spirit of open debate and free speech. And yet, very quickly after that, we did see some familiar divisions in the U.S. House of Representatives after a moment of silence was held for Charlie Kirk. Then we saw a blame game break out, chaos on the floor between Democrats and Republicans. Democrats feeling a Republican call to have a prayer out loud was politicizing the issue, calling for, gun control measures in place. Republicans blaming the violence on Democrats. And indeed, after an initial post from Donald Trump praising Charlie Kirk as legendary, he then posted a video where he appeared far angrier in tone, saying that it was the left-wing rhetoric that led to not only, he said, the attempted assassination against him, but the death of Charlie Kirk. But what was notable was that he didn't mention any of the recent attacks against Democrats. Charlie Kirk dropped out of college to focus on his organization, Turning Point USA. And essentially, the goal was to spread conservative Christian religious values to youth across the country, to re-energize the conservative youth movement. And he actually became one of the most influential voices in MAGA. He wasn't tied to the old Republican establishment. He got in very close with the Donald Trump family, Don Jr., his son. He had an incredible reach on social media. In fact, his podcast was in the top 10 consistently on Apple's charts. And he took that reach and really came to campuses. He was known for going to campuses and having these open debates, the segment called Prove Me Wrong, wanting to speak to not just conservatives but liberals to challenge different viewpoints. And it was interesting to see in statements today from the Vice President, J.D. Vance, he credited Charlie Kirk with, and along with Donald Trump, with turning out the youth vote and helping Donald Trump take back the White House. In fact, J.D. Vance, the Vice President, said that it wasn't their campaign events that were effective, that Turning Point's events were the most effective.